Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Krishna everyone. Welcome to Dev Sadan Mandir, Shrimadbhagavatam class. Today we are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. Text 24. Right? It's 24. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudire.
Tato Jayamudire.
Nashtaprayeshu Adreshu.
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Seviya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhakti Naishtiki.
Bhaktir Bhakti Naishtiki.
Krishna. Again, today we are reading from Shrimadbhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, Text 24. Rajamargam gate Krishne
Rajamargam gate Krishne
Dwarakaya kulastriyaha
Dwarakaya kulastriya
Harmanyaruru urvipra
Harmanir arur vipra
Tadicchana mahotsavaha
Tadikshana mahotsava
Rajamargam gate Krishne
Rajamargam gate Krishne
Dwarakaya kulastriyaha
Dwarakaya kulastriya
Harmanyaruru urvipra
Harmani arur vipra
Tadicchana mahotsavaha
Tadikshana mahotsava
Rajamargam gate Krishne
Rajamargam gate Krishne
Dwarakaya kulastriyaha
Dwarakaya kulastriya
Harmanyaruru vipra
Harmani arur vipra
Tadicchana mahotsavaha.
Tadikshana mahotsava
Like to repeat.
Rajamargam gate Krishne
Rajamargam gate Krishne
Dwarakaya kulastriya
Dwarakaya kulastriya
Harmani arur vipra
Harmanyaruru vipra
Tadikshana mahotsava
Tadicchana mahotsavaha. You want to try, Guru? Word for word. Rajamargam,
Rajamargam
the public roads.
the public roads
Gate,
Gate
gate, gate,
Gate
while passing over.
and passing over
Krishna,
Krishna
by Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna
Dwarakaya,
Dwarakaya
of the city of Dwaraka.
of the city of Dwaraka
Kulastriyaha,
Kulastriya
ladies of the respectable families.
ladies of the respectable families
Harmani,
Harmani
on the palaces.
on the palaces
Aruruhu,
Aruru
got up.
Gota
Vipra,
Vipra
O Brahmanas.
O Brahmanas
Tat Ikshana,
Tadikshana
just to look upon him, Krishna.
just to look upon him Krishna
Mahautsavaha,
Mahotsava
accepted as the greatest festival.
accepted as the greatest festival.
Translation and purport by His Divine Graces. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Translation. When Lord Krishna passed over the public roads, all the ladies from the respectable families of Dwarka went up to the roofs of their palaces just to have a look at the Lord. They considered this to be the greatest festival. Repeat after me. When Lord Krishna
When Lord Krishna
passed over the public roads,
passed over the public roads,
all the ladies
all the ladies
from the respectable families
from the respectable families
of Dwarka
of Dwaraka
went up to the roofs
went up to the roofs
of their palaces
of their palaces
just to have a look at the Lord.
just to have a look at the Lord.
They considered this
They consider this
to be the greatest festival.
to be the greatest festival.
Purport. To have a look at the Lord's great festive occasion. To have a look at the Lord is a great festive occasion, undoubtedly, as it was considered by the metropolitan ladies of Dwarka. This is still followed by the devout ladies of India, especially during the days of Jhulana and Janmashtami ceremonies. The ladies of India still throng up in the greatest number at the temple of the Lord, where His transcendental eternal form is worshipped. The transcendental form of the Lord installed in the temple is not different from the Lord personally. Such a form of the Lord is called Archa Vigraha or Archa incarnation, and is expanded by the Lord by His internal potency just to facilitate the devotional service of His innumerable devotees who are in the material world. The material senses cannot perceive the spiritual nature of the Lord, and therefore the Lord accepts the Archa Vigraha, which is apparently made of material elements like earth, wood, and stone, but actually there is no material contamination. The Lord being Kaivalya, one alone, there is no matter in him. He is one without a second, and therefore the Almighty Lord can appear in any form without being contaminated by material conception. Therefore, festivities in the temple of the Lord as held generally are like festivals performed during the manifestive days of the Lord of Dwarika about 5,000 years ago. The authorized acharyas who know the science perfectly install such temples of the Lord under regulative principle just to offer facilities to the common man. But persons who are less intelligent without being conversant with science mistakes this great attempt to be idol worship and poke their nose into that to which they have no access. Therefore, the ladies or men who observe festivals in the temples of the Lord just to have a look at the transcendental form are 1,000 times more glorious than those who are non-believers in the transcendental form of the Lord. It appears from the verse that the inhabitants of Dwarika were all owners of big palaces. This indicates the prosperity of the city. The ladies got up on the ropes just to have a look at the procession and the Lord. The ladies did not mix with the crowd on the street, and thus their respectability was perfectly observed. There was no artificial equality with man. Female, respectively, is preserved more elegantly by keeping the woman separate from the man. The sexes should not mix unrestricted. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mahavishnu Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Ramayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shukta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansya Shri Rupam Sarvajatam Savana Raghunatham Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadhutam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Videvam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Savana Lilitam Shri Vishakam Sahi Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gauranga Radhe Vrindaveshwari Vishwanushri Namami Haripri Vanchakalpataruvesha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patijanam Pavane Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namini Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Charine Nirvisheshanyavadi Vasatya Vishtarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shri Vasudhi Gauravata Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. I'll read the translation one more time. When Lord Krishna passed over the public roads, all the ladies from the respectable families of Dwarka went up to the roofs of their palaces just to have a look at the Lord. They consider this to be the greatest festival. So I'd like to pay my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, whose glories we are singing, by whom everything is created, preserved and annihilated. Respectful obeisances to all the devotees, Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who gives us the opportunity to be connected back to Lord again. Special gratitude to our Srila Vyasadeva for our Granth Shrimadbhagavatam, Special gratitude to Srila Prabhupada for providing this Granth as Shrimadbhagavatam in the language we are able to understand and read. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
It's a very nice verse and very nice purport. I think most of the thing is already explained in the purport. I remember the last time I spoke. Maybe next time I'll talk about the fragrance. So today I was not supposed to give class, but I want to talk about the fragrance. So let's have a little discussion. So this form of Lord coming in the form of Archa that we worship. So Lord can come in any form. Right? But to facilitate the devotees to pour their hearts into something, right? To remember the Lord and to pour their heart. Devotees need a facility. To facilitate those devotees, Lord is coming from His internal potency as Archa Vigraha from the form we see in the temples. And it is due to the mantras of the Brahmanas and the pure heart poured by a pure devotees that Archa Vigraha form is manifested by a pure devotee. In the similar way, Srila Prabhupada, he made Radha Kunj Bihari, Jagannath Baldev and Subhadra, and Gaur-Nitaya deities available here for us to facilitate, to see the Lord. The Lord is actually everywhere. He is everywhere. He is in every atom, He is in every heart, living as a super soul. So it's a kind of a wonder, like why do we need to worship idol? And here Srila Prabhupada says, something like it's just idol worship. But it has a big science. And this Archa Vigraha form, it hasn't just manifested, by the whims of just people. It's manifested by the pure devotee. And he himself kind of asks the Lord to please come in this form and give mercy, your merciful glance. And that is why we are here. And we are very, very fortunate to be around here. So, let's talk about fragrance. The fragrance we were about to talk before. So, every human, every animal, or like everything in this existence, it has a certain kind of vibration, certain kind of fragrance. If you see like a flower, it has a certain kind of fragrance, right? It's good for smelling. We used it and worship in the temple. But its unique fragrance allows bees and other insects to attract towards it. So it's its unique fragrance and unique vibration that kind of does it. It's just staying there. It's just not calling, oh bees, come. Just being there. Just exuding the kind of fragrance. And because of that fragrance, the magic happens. Because of the magic happens. Just that. So in a way, being a devotee is just about making our fragrance in such a way. We are inviting Lord. We are trying to attract the Lord in the same way. So, let's talk about being a human and being like other animals, like the flower we're talking about. So, the fragrance in the flower and the fragrance in the other animals, they are kind of restricted to their body and to the nature of their existence. So a tiger is inevitably attracted to a deer or his prey. That's his attraction. But what is the condition with the deers and all? They don't have attraction, they don't run away. They have a kind of a fragrance of fear towards the prey, towards the lion or tiger, right? So this is the kind of a relationship, but it's like nature has set upon them, and it can't be kind of changed, or it's like already enforced, it's already predetermined. This is the beauty about human, is that we can choose and we can decide what fragrance we can exude. And I'm not talking about the perfume we wear. It's a kind of a vibrations that you attune to. So, what causes this fragrance and how does this work and all? So it's simple. As the flower is just sitting there and exuding its fragrance, and the bees from far away will just come and help in its pollination and all, right? So in the same way, like in some way, due to our past karmas and all, we all have some kind of fragrance already built in ourselves. That leads us to the situation and the positions that we are in right now. So, in the same way, like the animals in the forest, they go on about, going on about where their fragrance takes them. They see prey, okay, I have to kill, like it's the animal instinct in a way, right? So it's kind of that their fragrance drives their livelihood in a way. Their whole life is kind of dependent on that fragrance. In same way, human life and human karma is also kind of driven by this fragrance. It's not everybody kind of has a choice where they are born, right? With whom they are born and all this. So it's all the fragrance of the past karmas. It's all those vibrations of the past karmas, and it's all making it happen. But do you want to know the beauty about being human? Beauty about being human is every moment, consciously, we can attune to a fragrance that we want. We might not know, consciously or unconsciously, we are kind of, creating our own fragrance for the future. And this is the beauty about being human. We can decide what kind of fragrance we want to emit now, so where we'll end up later. We want to be like a flower and attract some insects towards us. We want to be like a tiger and attract some other animals toward us. We would go after them. Or we want to become like a devotee. We want to become fragrant like a devotee. So we attract the Lord. We heard about the stories where the devotees, they attract the Lord. Many stories, right? They just attract the Lord just by the sheer devotion. They just sitting in a place and doing the devotional service, and it's just Lord happens to come towards them, near them, in a magical way. Lot of stories, right? Lot of stories. So how this happens? It's all about the fragrance. But how? What changes? So, in a way, like the flower has a kind of a desire to attract insects. In a way, it's exuding fragrance. So the desire we have, it's kind of a trigger that changes the fragrance in a way. There are many more things into it, but the desire is the most important cause. So what we desire, in a way, slowly the vibration of the body takes in a form. Now, it depends on many things how quickly a desire of a person will take on to that vibration, and it happens to the manifestation, or certain circumstances and things around it attracts. It depends on the capability of a person and all the other things. Also, attention also plays a very vital role. We have heard, be attentive while chanting, right? So this also plays a role, very vital role. So let's talk about desire. So what we desire for, let's see. We desire for survival, we desire for more money. That is why we are getting job, right? We're kind of attuning ourselves towards that fragrance to get a job in a way. So in the same way, we're doing many things. We are consciously or like not knowingly, we just kind of making a fragrance. It's kind of a vibration. We're just constantly emitting. Let's see. Sometimes there is like a, let's say, there is like a two-person. So one person sometimes seems to have an easy way throughout the life. Everything he gets like easily. Even if you compare two-person, one person gets very easy way from certain people, and if the other person goes, the certain people does not like. The kind of fragrance does it. You know, if the person is like likable, not likable, what is the circumstance, what is the situation, right? So the fragrance plays a very vital role. And the very strong direction this fragrance gives is the emotion of our heart. The emotion we have, it triggers this fragrance, the vibrations. It plays a very vital role. Like we are told like to be loving, right? Be compassionate, right? Ahimsa paramo dharma, be non-violence. So this is a way of attuning ourselves to a fragrance, because this fragrance will give us certain good. We talk about mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. It's all about this fragrance. If we are not consciously maintaining our fragrance, it's mode of ignorance. We are choosing our fragrance to go after our desires and fulfill our desires. We are going in mode of passion. In a way, if we be compassionate to everybody around us, lovingly, slowly, so the mode of goodness comes. And if we attune to Krishna and become a devotee, we transcend these three modes. And from the mode of goodness we go beyond. So this is where we're trying to attune the fragrance. And now the love and compassion would help, right? But we need to transcend those to higher level, towards love of Krishna, love towards the Supreme. And that will attune the fragrance that we desire for. And then it is possible to attain Krishna. So, let's talk about how the Bilba Mangal Thakur, right? We were talking about him. And he was kind of attracted to the prostitute named Chintamani, right? So it's his fragrance. It's in his bodily conscious, right? His past karma and all. So it's his fragrance. He was kind of attracted to the prostitute. But now the Chintamani was supposed to be, she happened to become a devotee of the Lord, right? Now, she was devotee, but she was doing a prostitute work, and she was kind of having a fragrance on her own. You know how the devotee of the Lord, they have a certain fragrance. Wherever they go, their fragrance kind of touches the people around them, and more devotees comes out of them, right? So that fragrance of her kind of invited Bilba Mangal Thakura towards her, and by so and so he happened to become a devotee. It's just because out of her sheer fragrance. If a pure devotee is there, there's no need for a pure devotee to consciously preach. It helps, but even if they be, the fragrance alone, it does it. The vibration alone, it does it. So, the fragrance of human is, we can consciously attune to this vibration and fragrance. Either like we can go near somebody whose vibrations are in certain way, right, and obtain from them, or we can consciously sit in a corner and create our own vibration. So in this way, so this is why Srila Prabhupada has mostly stressed on the association of the devotees, because the vibration we are constantly kind of engaged with and associated with, slowly we take on those vibrations in a way. We take on those fragrances, we learn, right? If we are constantly associated with great devotees of the Lord, slowly will happen, we'll be inspired, right? Slowly we'll be inspired. Oh, I want to be slowly like it, because everybody loves good fragrance. Correct? Everybody loves good fragrance. The vibration in us, the soul and super soul within us, it will slowly be attractive towards the Krishna consciousness when we see the pure devotees. And then slowly, knowingly or unknowingly, automatically, like our body, our mind, it just kinds of takes to this vibration, takes to this fragrance. So this is why association is greatly recommended, association of the devotees. I think it's Braj Kumar Prabhu who always talks about, if we are not in the association of devotees and somebody is doing his Krishna consciousness alone, he's saying like he's in a great delusion. Because in loneliness we might lack the sheer commitment towards Krishna and all, and our past fragrance and the past karma is too strong, stronger than we think. Sometimes, even after a lot of association with pure devotees, our past karma, it's just too strong. And it is us who are kind of holding it strongly within ourselves. Yes, we can let it go and take on new fragrance, but how willing we are to take on a new fragrance, to take on this new vibration with the pure devotees, and we want to become like them. How willing we are. Or we just have some other fragrance to go after. Or we're just like the bees, we are just attracted towards the flower. Some other flowers. We see like Chapala Sukha, flickering happiness around the world. We are like bees, constantly attracted with the fragrance of the flowers. Lot of flowers are there. Right? Lot of flowers are there. Lot of different flowers. We all know about these. And so we are just kind of attracted towards all those flickering happiness, flickering fragrance. So how we want to be, what kind of fragrance we want to exude, and what kind of fragrance we want to be attracted towards. So this is the choice as a human we are having, and we are very, very fortunate to have this choice. And we are very, very fortunate to be in this class. We are talking about this and all. We are getting to know this. We are very, very fortunate to become as a human and have a choice, to have a kind of choice. Okay, which fragrance should I be attracted to, and which fragrance should I exude myself? Right? This is a choice. This is a choice we are all having. And this is a choice every time we are making. Whatever the decision, whatever the simple little decisions we are making, every time. So our choice and our desire, it kinds of attunes this fragrance. Now, how we choose to be? We choose to be loving, we choose to be compassionate, and how much of love we want to pour in our service, in our day-to-day activities or whatever. This determines like what kind of fragrance we'll be exuding in a way. It feels like a small, but it can grow over time with practice and all. And it needs quite a practice. So, we all might have heard, when we're chanting, we have to be attentive. Why? Why this attention is required? This attention is kind of a way that we attune to this fragrance in a way. So we'll be able to see for ourselves what kind of fragrance we are emitting and what kind of fragrance we are getting attracted towards. This attention plays a vital role. It helps us keeping our desires in such a way that we can focus towards Krishna. It will be facilitated towards our bhakti. If our attention is not there enough, then we go back to ignorance, the old past karmas that will kind of rule us. More the attention we have, more clearly we'll be able to see how binding this fragrance of the past karmas and all, where we are attracted to it, and all these things are. So attention plays a vital role. This is why Acharyas have stressed very much on attentive chanting. It is an offense to be inattentive while chanting, right? It plays a vital role. So if you think about it, it connects a lot of dots. There is still a lot to say about this. So I want to make it a short class today because we have some cooking service. So this is the fragrance I kind of wanted to talk about. Well, it might need a lot more than this talking, but so it's a kind of, how do you say, brief touch to this thing, brief touch. So hopefully we'll take a life into the new perspective, new look, and try to observe this fragrance what I'm talking about, and whatever fragrance we are kind of attracted towards, and whatever fragrance we are emanating, so that we attract, right? We are also, in a way, fragrance, we are attracting. So, in a way, the great devotees, they know how to make their fragrance in such a way that God, Krishna, Lord Himself, will just come. Lot of instances are there that Lord Krishna Himself is doing service to the pure devotees. Lord Krishna. So it's all due to the fragrance of the devotees. They are so attuned towards Krishna. Their attraction towards Krishna, attraction towards the fragrance of Krishna is so strong. And by this, it is possible. And it is made happen. Well, hopefully we all take inspiration from all the pure devotees of the Lord, and we try to associate ourselves with them by their words, scriptures, and by whatever means we can, and we all try to attune to this fragrance, attune to this vibration, and make our lives successful. Jai. Any questions, any comments, any discussions?
I like that
Anything you'd like to say?
analogy, thank you. I really like that. It's really nice.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to say because when I was reading the last time when I was giving class with Bilbo Mangal Thakur and that verse, and then I just realized, okay, maybe I should talk about fragrance, but it was getting late.
Very nice.
So,
And to this place, when you come into the shoe room and open the glass door, that smell is just always so fantastic. I love that. I do. It's just like heaven. It smells like heaven. That's all I can say.
so any
Thank you.
discussions, any questions, comments?
Changing of the fragrance is definitely in our process, being regulated. It's also reminds me that is you can have garbage, which also has a fragrance. You can also have nice fragrance. So, by which process?
Yeah.
By
Even-
regulation, devotional service, regulation, sadhana, follow those instructions. Yeah, nothing change.
So if we think about it, garbage also does the same thing as flowers. It attracts insects. So what kind of insects it attracts? And what kind of insects the flowers attracts?
Yeah.
So it's just that different. It's just that different.
Pretty insects versus ugly insects.
Yeah.
Exactly. They can't help it. They're
Yes, so
ugly.
it's just like that. So what kind of fragrance we exude, it kind of attracts similar kind of things. So
Pretty bugs are ugly bugs.
Well, there's also the swans and the crows.
Exactly.
that's all for today. Grantara Shrimadbhagavatam ki,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.